Hello again, Janice Petteway, Director of Brokerage Development for Exit Realty Corp International. Here we are again. Today, our topic, proactive living. What does that mean? To me, it's the difference between being peaceful and doing what you need to do in your life, in all aspects of your life on a daily basis to stay ahead of the stress, ahead of the, I got to get this done part of living, hopefully, eventually your past living. It's really a lifestyle, I guess, is the best way to describe it. I touched on it a little bit yesterday, and that little bit is what inspired me today to talk to you about this, because I think it's so important. Having so many of you in my life, I really can see those of you that do things planned and people that do things always in the more reactive mode. So what does this mean for you in your business, your personal life, everything? When you do, first of all, do you do your yearly 1 year, 3 year, 5 year goals? Do you have a roadmap of what your big picture is that you want to accomplish? Hopefully you do, because otherwise you're just letting the daily vibration of the world bump you around and um, make your plans for you, probably, right? So what do you want? What do you want your income to be? What do you want your health, your family, your home, your fun time, your spirit? What do you want that to look like in a year? How about 3 years? How about 5 years? We can talk about that when I have a lot more time with you. But if you have that kind of idea, then proactive living looks like this. Let's say that you want to make $100,000 in the next 12 months. That would be your big picture goal. But then your daily tasks, things that you would put on your checklist, etc., would be the steps that you need to do in every week, then every day, and then every hour to accomplish that goal, because you would know the things you had to do and create to earn that kind of income. So let's say that one of your things was that you figured out that you knew you were really good with your sphere. Most of your business in the past came from people that know and love you. So to make this amount of money in a year, if 75% of your business in the past came from people that know and love you, then you would figure out, I probably should spend 75% of my time, money, and effort with that group of people, fostering those relationships and building from there even more. So then you would proactively break that down further and say, okay, so what do I need to do that? Well, I'm going to choose to do a monthly mail out. I'm going to choose to do phone calls, and I'm going to choose to do 2 events in the next year. Okay, so now you've broken it down. So in that week, in that day, all of that really broken down, what does that look like? Well, if you're living proactively, you have, instead of it becoming the 29th of the month and you're like, oh, I didn't send out anything to my people, but I said I was going to, it'll have to wait till next month. No, 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 no. Proactive living would be you have gotten on a system, you know what you're sending out. It might cost you a little bit, but it comes to you ready to go if that's your personality. And that means on the 12th of every month, you are in the office printing out the cover letters, signing them, printing out the labels. You've already gotten the stamps on the 10th because you know you're mailing them out on the 12th. And on the 11th and the 12th, you're in there putting them together and they're in the mailbox out on the 12th. Get it? That's what you've done. If you don't have the income, then on the 5th, 6th, you are exploring the internet, figuring out what piece of article or something about a house or upkeep or gardening, or depending on the time of year, what are you sending them? What are you doing? And I suggest it's snail mail because that seems to work better. Or if you're setting up an email campaign, what are you sending? Is it in promo shop? What are you doing? But you've got it set up to happen every month if that's what you've said you're going to do. If you said you were doing the phone calls, that means you have a list the first of every month of what 10 people, their name, phone number, everything, whether it's you're going into whatever system, and every day it jogs you to make those calls, and it's right there, and that's who it is, because you're not scrambling at the end of the month to catch up. Every day you know you're going to spend an hour on those calls. That's just what you do. And then if you're going to plan events, let's just say you said you were going to do 2, so you know the dates, right? So you don't get 3 weeks before the date and all of a sudden be like, I said I was going to do this. Ugh. You don't do that, guys. You don't do it. You said you're going to do it, so months before you have planned where you're going to do it, you know who you're going to invite, and then 30 days before the event, you're confirming where you're doing it. You are getting the food organized or drink or whatever you're going to do, and you are sending out a save the date 2 weeks prior. You're sending out the invitations. The week prior, you're calling everybody to confirm that they got it and they're coming. You get what I mean? It's proactive living. Same thing as when you say at the end of the year you really want to be able to have the funds to redo your kitchen. The end of the year comes, did you do that? Probably not. So what you would do instead is every month you'd know how much money towards that project you need to save, because the very first of the year before you went and got estimates, because you have to know the road you're taking to accomplish things. So make it fun. Enjoy the 12 months before you can do it. Enjoy the photos of the new kitchen. Know what it's going to cost you. Talk about the first group of people you're going to invite over to celebrate. Know how many more properties you need to sell, at what price range, to be able to put that money aside. Know what you can cut in your budget to get there faster. Know that if you sponsored in 1 or 2 agents, that you'd be able to do it maybe in September instead. Live your life proactively. I know you can do it. And trust me, it's a lot more fun. No stress. See you guys tomorrow.